All
Yeah.
right, ready? Ready?
I'll cut it and everything. So we're gonna start now. I'm so sorry I fucked that up. I'm so sorry, friend.
So good. So good.
Hello, everyone. I accidentally
Hi.
doxed myself, and we had to
We
cut
had to
it.
retake it because someone had a little special moment in the car.
I did. But yes, welcome to Queerly Disturbed, a public access podcast.
She acts like we didn't just have to do take 2 on this.
Shh.
I'm Carly Rico Quinn.
I'm Jon'Moll.
And, well, we already said the name of the show. Fuck.
I did.
Oops.
No, it feels fucked up because I fucked up. I did it to us.
So as if I never asked this question already, let's talk about this look, Mama.
Yes,
what inspired this look?
Flowers and spiders. This is supposed to be a spider on the bottom, but it also kind of looks like a booty hole.
It's
Look at it. Here, wait. I'll stand up for the camera. Look at it. It's very, wait. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's kind of giving a little chocolate starfish.
Oh my God.
But
it's the chocolate starfish if you took like 3 tabs of acid.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But yes, I tie-dyed these with the help of my good friend Lance. And then I sewed them together and I
At
cut
your
them up,
undisclosed
and I made a
job
little
location.
shh. And then no, yeah, it's a friend that I do work with.
We'll just put like a little bar that says redacted.
No, yeah, it's a friend I do work with, and he helped me tie-dye these shirts and figure out the idea for what I wanted to do and present on it with the colors.
It's giving very, if Alanis Morissette decided to go to Jonestown.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think I've actually seen Alanis Morissette in person. Or not in person, of course, but like I don't think I've seen many photos of her.
Well, it's very like 90s grunge meets 70s hippie.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Is it the hair?
Slightly the hair, but it's also the fishnets, the boots, and then, you know, obviously the dress is very 70s.
Well, I wanted to wear...
And the glasses are very 70s, too.
I love looking very 70s, and I've been loving sunglasses.
I've noticed, and then my dumbass will sit there and be like, I want to try sunglasses, too. And I will wear them at the social club during karaoke, and I'll be like,
oh, yeah,
can't
you have to
see
commit
jack
to the
shit.
bit. Yeah.
I can't see anything, and so I feel bad when I forget what people's names are. But even then, I forget what people's names are anyway.
Me too. What I try to do is early on, I will invest more in putting them actually over my eyes more. But then what I'll do is throughout the rest of the evening, I'll pull them down.
They'll come slightly lower.
Yeah, so that I can do the little...
Well, but it's also like...
I just want to say, I feel like my makeup is... I love it today. I just have to say. I don't want to sound narky, but wow.
I know you wore a lot of makeup today.
Go meh.
I was so natural today.
And I'm so contoured. I'm so contoured-iana. And
she said 2016 makeup is superior to all makeup.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the fucking sculpted out brow. Oh, I love it. I love your makeup today, too. I was literally when I saw it from the car, I was like, bitch, yes. I love Circus Baby.
Yeah, so the topic of the episode today was movies. So, and the last movie that I watched was Five Nights at Freddy's, but I didn't want to come in here like a giant chicken because I've already done that.
Did you come in here as a giant chicken already?
No, but last time I basically looked like one.
Time Wizard could have been mistaken as
for a giant chicken.
As chickeny. You know? It was a chickeny wizard.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's, of course, what people think of.
Please welcome to the stage, Chickeny Wizard. Oh. I actually really like that as a drag name.
I do, too.
Chickeny.
Chickpea Wizard.
Chickpea Wizard.
That's so good. Oh, my God.
That sounds yummy.
But, yeah, so I was like, oh, I should do something Circus Baby-ish. And so I've cracked out this little button-up shirt that I've had for the past 8 years of my life, and it still fits. I will say, though, I was having a little bit of struggle right on the top, like, button, because, you know, typically you're not supposed to button that one unless you put, like, a tie.
Unless you're doing a fucking tie.
Oh, my God. I was sitting there and was like, I've never had this issue before, and I almost cried, because I was like, I'm in full makeup, and I can't get this fucking thing to work, and I was like, I'm becoming so fat. And then I, like, punched the mirror, and I stared at the complexities of my soul. And I was
she
like,
really said, I'm a fat bitch, but my man loved me.
It's true.
Yeah, no,
It's true.
It looks good though. You know what it also makes me think of? It's like a mix between Circus Baby, of course, from FNAF, and the button-up red, like cherry look that Trixie Mattel does in All Stars.
Oh, I love that
which
look.
I really, it's like
with
latex
the
though.
the books on her head.
Yes, it's very reminiscent of that in my opinion, as far as the color and the button-up.
I
and
do
the
love me a
skirt.
good red and white look.
I like red and white too. I almost like when I first was doing drag, I really wanted to get one of like the mini like red Coca-Cola baby tees and do like
Ooh, I have one of
a
those.
red and white baby tee look. I've been wanting to do something like that. I want to buy more baby tees to
It's
wear with
so
the giant
old.
pants.
You know what? I have finally had to step in and make myself go, all right, I'm going to buy myself new clothes because some of my shirts are from like high school. But I mean, if they fit, right? Like, I'm not going to get rid of them, but they've also become so thin because they're so old.
True. Also, I just came up with an idea that I'm just going to mention now that I think we should do for the pod. I feel like, because you know how, okay, well, I just want to, maybe we can
Movies.
get reaction. Well, we're going to talk about movies. We're going to
True.
get there.
True,
We're
we
gonna
haven't
get
even got there yet.
I feel like in the beginning, you know how people with like pods and shows, they have like a beginning part that they go through. Like Delta has one where she just goes off about something and she talks about how
Like
it
a
can-
cold open?
No, there's like a segment in Delta's podcast called Go Off Delta, and it's where she by herself monologues about like a first world inconvenience.
Oh, I mean, that's
And
like
it's really
us with our
funny and nice.
dads.
And I mean, we already complain about so much. But
True.
on another podcast I watched, they do one that's kind of the same nature, but it's both of the podcast hosts, and they
Okay.
complain about something.
Okay.
I think what we should do is we should bring up some type of like drag, like we should talk about our drag look or talk about drag looks we've seen recently, and then
Oh.
segue into our subject.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Because I don't want to take
Or
people's
our
ideas,
dads.
because we already complain so much. Why would we have a segment about just complaining?
This is true.
We're gonna have many a bitch on here to bitch about,
True.
to bitch with.
This is
you
true.
know. So I don't know why. When you were talking about your look, I was like, we should talk about our looks.
Let's
for the
talk about
segment.
bitching about people.
Let's complain about Albuquerque drag and everyone in it.
She was like, this bitch. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Bitching. Right. Yeah. That's exactly what she was going for.
Also,
So,
what did you bring us today?
I brought quite a bit, actually. So last episode, you brought your bunny, and I forgot to bring my bunny because I was fucking stupid.
What
But
disorders? What disorder does your bunny have?
my bunny has borderline personality disorder.
Ooh.
There's a little bomb backpack. Oh, it's so cute.
It is really cute. I
See,
really like it.
American McGee is gonna get all my money. It's so fucking ridiculous.
No, same. I already have 3 of the bunnies, and they're too much. They're so cute. I'm
And
obsessed.
then she's gonna love this. I brought.
Oh my
little-
God. I love these things literally so much. They're so cute.
We were fitting the vibe.
I want to see them. Oh my gosh.
They're little.
They're so. Can we
they're-
get. Yes. Let me.
They're
They're
little
mini pops.
bitty Funko Pops.
They're a whole ass pop figure, but they're so little.
It's kind of crazy.
my
they're like
God.
They're smaller than a Lego minifigure.
How much were the sets of the FNAF ones? How much did you
I
pay
think they
for
were like
these? If you don't mind
14
my
each.
asking.
They were 14 each.
I really
Some of them
want
are more
this
expensive, though. Like,
I
I
kind of want to
think-
get these myself.
Oh, ooh, yes, ooh. We got a little. Look at that. Oh,
Yes.
See? So
yes.
if you
yes,
if you take a look, this is the one that
yes.
I am today. This little nightmare cupcake. I love that this turned into QVC.
Yeah, no, we could do QVC, bitch.
So
we should do it.
This little nightmare cupcake one is a rare one. You got a 1 in 6 chance of getting this one.
Oh my God,
and then
really?
Funtime Freddy is a 1 out of 3. So this cupcake right here is probably worth like, I can see it run for like 40 to 50
so
bucks.
Cute. I
on
love
its own.
that. Yeah, these are adorable.
But some of the lines now, like I was looking on Amazon,
And the little
and,
the boxes, they're
yeah,
like
they're legit
yeah,
boxes.
will you take one out for me?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see them like in.
We'll take out.
And they don't open the same, of course, but they
No,
have the
no.
same idea, and they're made of. Oh, I see what they do. Okay, that's so cool. Oh, I love that.
That one has a pink
so
misprint.
cute. Oh, really? Where?
Right on the back of the head. That wasn't me.
Oh, wow, that's someone's fingerprint.
Is it someone's finger?
Yeah, that's someone's fingerprint. Someone's like part of their finger. They touched it on accident. They must have really quickly. You know what it probably was? I bet on production line they were doing something like this, and they accidentally just nicked it, and they were like, "Well, whatever."
Yeah.
That's iconic, low
It's
key.
kind of cool when they have the little misprints like that.
Yeah.
Because you never expect it. But
They're so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm
yeah.
so glad you brought those because I love seeing those in person.
And it's kind of crazy. Like, people will pay good money for that shit. And
I
then
can imagine.
I know I showed off my little Kirby's last time, and I got a new one. I got Waddle Dee.
Oh, that's so cute.
I actually pinned them
What
to
a
my
little
hair.
baby. That's so adorable.
See, I was prepared today. I was
I
like,
love it.
I have
yeah,
so
I
much
love little
garbage.
knickknacks.
Okay, so the next one, I just wanted to get stuff that fit the vibe today. So this was a little Hot Wheels thing that I've had for I don't know how long.
That's so
but
adorable.
It's the penguins,
Oh,
little penguin
yes.
boat
Wait, right there you
in
go.
Batman Returns.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
And then
Oh,
the
little
newest
steering
thing,
wheel.
the newest thing that I have. So
Oh my
these
gosh! Yes,
are Oogie
that's
Boogie's
so
dice
cute.
from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Those are pretty. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And they're like legitimately cast die.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's
They're
all carved and everything.
Super haunting. Love them.
Right?
They look very esoteric.
Yes.
They look like something that people would like tell.
She
fortunes
nods
with.
because she thinks she knows what esoteric means. Yes.
It's very witchy. Like
Yes.
it's like someone who does like oracles. It looks like it feels like they would throw those kind of
I love
die
that
for
this is
something.
Toys Part 2.
Oh, I just love. Yeah, no. I think the beginning segment of our show should be our drag
Oh.
looks and like some type of toy knickknack.
Oh, and then the bag itself. This was a birthday gift from my boyfriend.
I know that bag is really cute.
I love this
You've been
bag.
really into Kirby lately.
I have.
Have you been eating a lot?
Yes, I have.
I love
She
Kirby.
said, I Kirby, Carly.
I wish I could sometimes intake things like Kirby. It'd make life so
yeah.
much easier. You can just get
True.
it done real fast.
like loans. Just pay
oh
them
my
off
god,
like
you
that.
just eat them.
Just eat them.
Mhm.
And then the last thing I brought was a
Oh my
haunted bell.
gosh. Wait, it's haunted?
Yes.
What happens when we ring it? I don't want to touch it.
The
when you
ghost
ring
of
it.
Crimson
It's
Dusk will show up.
The ghost of Coochie Musk.
Coochie Musk. Robin Mansions will enter that door and she'll go, "Hi, how are you? We're having fun at the Soch tonight."
We are having fun at the Soch
We
tonight.
are.
Actually, I don't think there's anything going on at the Soch tonight.
It's on Monday. They're closed.
Oh, right. They are closed on Mondays.
But yes,
We
that's
love
my
that, though.
bag. What you got in your bag today, girl?
Okay,
Oh, and
so
my
before I
wallet.
show what's actually in the bag, I brought and this isn't original, but I did bring a redo of an original Barbie.
I'm so excited to see this.
I love Barbies.
She's been hiding this from me in the car.
This, I think, came out in 2016, but it's a complete redo of the original
Oh,
1950s.
work. And she's a brunette.
Yeah, it's a brunette, and she's super cute. There are certain differences I think she has as far as maybe the makeup. I think I watched some video that Trixie Mattel did, I think, when she talked about her original Barbie that she has.
You know who else
The
has an
redos
original
have,
Barbie?
like, a slightly updated makeup. What? Oh, who? Sorry.
Devora. Devora
Oh,
has an original
really?
Barbie.
That's so cool.
She
They're
loves
really
collecting
hard to
Barbies.
come by. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I was maybe thinking about bringing my porcelain Barbie, but I might save that one to bring when it's closer to Christmas because it is a
Ooh,
Christmas
yeah.
edition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love her. She's so fun. She's so cute. Oh, her
she
glasses
missed her
too.
glasses?
I think she came with a stand that I might have taken out, but I don't really care. I like keeping her in the box. It's
True.
fun to have her in her little collector box. And then the next thing I brought is a book. We don't have to read the whole thing, but I can give y'all the general consensus. But it is called, oh yeah, and let's cut to the close camera because this is so iconic. It is called Help Mom, There Are Liberals Under My Bed. It is one of my favorite books in the entire world. It's about two little boys that open a lemonade stand, and then a bunch of liberals come out from behind a tree and like spread propaganda to them. And it like ruins their lemonade stand.
Oh my God.
And like Hillary Clinton is in it. And she's obsessed with broccoli. And yeah, and I love it. It's one of my faves.
I get it, because kids don't like broccoli.
It's
Oh
been one
my
of my. I've had this
God.
book for so long. far right propaganda is very fascinating to
So,
me.
okay, is that a satire book or is that a real, like, actual conservative book?
I'm pretty sure this is an actual conservative book.
What?
The author, I'm pretty sure, has written other conservative books as well. And when I say far right propaganda, in my opinion, it does kind of have a bit of a, it does have kind of a propaganda-y thing about it because it very much paints like leftist, democratic, and liberal ideas as like very, very, very outlandish and horrid, which I mean,
And
don't get me
evil.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big old blue-pilled liberal. I am very much like a
I would say
pretty
we are
far- I'm
very
a-
far
I'm a
left.
pretty far leftist, but I
Yeah.
also do realize how much nasty stuff regular blue-pilled liberals will sometimes invest in. We don't have to get into politics that much, but I did involve politics by this book.
Right.
I think it's funny.
You
I think it's
opened
really
Pandora's
hilarious
box.
because they're not fully wrong either, but it does have a bit of an agenda to it, but I find that kind of fascinating and hilarious. But you know what? I don't want to hear anything about drag grooming kids when books like this exist.
True.
But this book is really hilarious. I've had it for such a long time. I think it's
Because
adorable.
here's also the truth, Mary. When it comes to like that whole narrative of drag queens grooming children, most drag queens don't like kids.
A lot of drag queens don't want to see kids.
We like the two of us especially. We don't like when it's like an all ages show and there's a bunch of kids running around. Because
It's not
like,
really my preference. I've
it's-
been to shows.
I mean, don't
I've
get me
been-
wrong. All ages shows can be really fun to perform for.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of like Disney, because my drag is very campy. But not all drag is necessarily like
Not all drag
all
is for
ages
children, and
appropriate.
that doesn't need to be
Right, because-
explained to everyone,
Right.
Or not, like it doesn't need to be propagated to people.
exactly.
Is propagated a correct term for that? I actually don't think it is. I might be a fucking dumbass.
I catered.
Yes, that's a better term.
Like, you're not gonna stick Jimbo in, a drag queen story time.
No, or Violet Chachki when she does
Right.
like, fully.
But like someone like Nina
nude.
West or me, you could put
Yeah,
us
Nina
in,
West. Lots of like, there's a lot of like older drag
Mm-hmm.
queens out there that have been in more film media that sometimes do more age appropriate drag.
right.
And you know what? I also am not really one to even like fully encourage things like drag queen story times. I'm not saying that they're bad. I just am not really sure if they're fully necessary.
I
But
think
at
sometimes,
the same time,
like-
your child is going to see drag regardless because I saw drag at a really early age.
Because of what? Movies.
Right, because of film, because of movies. Like one of my favorite movies, Mrs.
Miss
Doubtfire.
Doubtfire.
And people that say Mrs. Doubtfire is different from adult drag, that is fair, but
To an extent.
that is right. But also, children are being brought to things like Hooters. And the other day, I was literally watching an episode of Botched. And there was this mom that had a problem with her breast augmentation, and she had it redone and stuff.
Breast augmentation.
breast augmentation.
Breast augmentation.
And she makes bikinis and does modeling and stuff. And she was at like a bikini underwear photo shoot, and her husband and her like practically infant baby, like year old, was like surrounded by ladies with like their titties in big old bras. It was
See,
very like
ugh.
boom boom volleyball low key. And
Boom
don't get me
boom
wrong,
volleyball. Is that bunny throwing balls?
no, you should look up boom boom volleyball.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not saying that
Chloe
the photo shoot is
versus
bad.
Bunny is boom boom volleyball.
I'm not saying that the photo shoot itself is bad. I love a good scandalous photo,
But also-
it's a double standard when you bring your kids around that and then say that drag queens are groomers. And we also have to remember that this is the same propaganda that was spread in the 80s about gay people, and there is actual
And the same
documented
kind of
proof
propaganda that was
that.
spread in the 60s about black people.
Exactly. That there's actual documented proof of that, and that's something that people that actually have good discernment need to practice. But that has nothing to do with movies. So what's your favorite
I was going
movie?
to say movies. Shit. My favorite movie kind of bounces around.
Oh,
Because,
yeah. I
like,
can't actually name one favorite movie.
Because
well,
when it-
I could name a couple, but it's more of a top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a top 10 for
I mean,
me.
Nightmare Before
And
Christmas
you and I
was...
both are partially educated with in film, right?
I have a film degree.
You have a film degree. I'm technically a college dropout, but I am film certified through
and
my
we
college.
both became drag queens.
And we both became drag queens. And honestly, a lot of drag work It's a lot of what you learn in certain parts of film. So you actually can like get segued into film through drag, which is cool.
Oh,
Like
so easy.
I've gotten some film. I got in a film job once through drag. Like I did a featured background in a movie that had like calorie and.
I auditioned for this exact same thing. And
Really? Did you
I did audition.
Really?
And they looked at my face and they were like, she's not what we want.
Oh my God, we could honestly cut my audition into this. It'd be so funny.
That would be so funny.
It's just me and my mirror in my
But she
living
had to
room.
shave for it.
Oh, I had to shave for them. Yeah, I showed up like this to the fitting though because it was wild. I auditioned like this, and then they contacted me and they had me come to the fitting, and then there at the fitting they asked me to shave, and I was like, well, I'm getting paid, so sure.
Yep.
And I can honestly cut in a picture of me shaved for this thing, and there's some tea around that. That makeup artist on that set was kind of a fucking bitch. The set, the people who sent the reference photos of what makeup to do were really inconsistent, and they were
Normal.
really double standardy around things.
Right.
They didn't like that I do like a white highlight on my nose. And tried telling me my makeup was almost too avant-garde. But when they sent me reference photos, they sent me pictures of Dolly Parton in nudie pink, Miley Cyrus in glitter blue, and then Divine from Pink Flamingos, who literally wears an eye like this.
They
big.
looked at you and said your makeup was too avant-garde, and then they
Yes.
looked at me and said, don't even try with that.
No,
one."
yes, verbatim. When I got to the set at 8 in the morning and I showed up, and again, here's the picture with my little nose done, and the rest of it was basic shit. The makeup artist was like, "Oh, we're not sure if it's gonna work. We're not really sure." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Well, it seems too avant-garde." Like, no. And then she went to the director. She went to the people, and it was really weird. She like went to the director and like went to the creative people, and then she came back and she was like, "Oh, well, it's your nose." And I was like, well, if that's just the problem, then I'll cover my nose. Oh, and I will say in between that, before she went and she checked, I argued with her a little, and I was like, what do you mean? You sent me pictures of Divine and Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton, but specifically also Divine. You sent me like 2 different photos of
Tell
Divine.
me you're not educated in drag without telling me you're not educated
Well,
in
and
drag.
I looked at this makeup artist's Instagram, and it was very like editorial makeup. It was not drag makeup. And I was like,
well,
okay, well,
that's
she don't know what
true.
she was talking about. But she was...
Not all of us can slap on a little bit of highlighter and some lip gloss and walk out there.
Well, and she...
Which makes me insanely jealous.
Well,
of
and then she got all
some of
defensive
them.
and was like, I'm not trying to argue with you. And I was like, well, I'm not either, but I'm trying to get a point that you guys sent me pictures of Divine and Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton.
You
So then she
booked
goes
me
back-
to be a drag queen,
Yep.
and this is what I do.
So then she goes back. I fix my nose. I literally just cover it with foundation, so I just have a fucking man nose. And the rest of it was fine.
Maybe-
to later,
maybe
the director, later on after we finished, once we got to the last part of filming, we were like 3/4 of the way through. He like stops me at one point while I'm walking away, and he was like, "Hey, you looked really, really nice. You look really good." And he was very, very nice. The director was, and that's where I was like, "Yeah, thank you very much." I was about to look at him and go, "Your makeup artist needs to get her shit together and educate herself."
Maybe that's why the straights don't book us for stuff, because they're like, let's just put a straight person in drag because they won't argue with us because they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, that's apparently what we have to go through to get a fucking booking, apparently.
Which-
Because apparently everyone only wants to see one type of drag here.
True.
Which I think is interesting because I've been booked for, like, things that are private, like private party things.
Same.
Literally with facial hair. And a lot of, like, straight
When we
cis
did that
people-
bachelorette party,
Yeah, a lot of
oh
straight
my
cis
God.
people love it. So the fact that there are arguments around...
Ugh, they loved it. They ate it
sellable
up.
drag is
We loved
interesting.
it.
Oh,
Like,
we loved
had
it. It was fun.
Um,
But that's besides the point.
but
But yeah, this
movies.
movie was
We
was
cannot-
dumb. The makeup artist was annoying, and
we
it
definitely
was-
can't
was
address
fun.
it without talking about the strikes that are still currently going on.
Yes, there is still the writer strike, and I think
No, the writer
SAG
strike is done.
the SAG strike is
The
still happening.
SAG-AFTRA is still going.
You know what? I do have one slight opinion about the SAG strike, and I don't want to like talk down on it because people in unions deserve to strike about things. People deserve equal pay.
If there was
All
a crew
that.
union, oh, this shit would have been resolved a lot sooner.
Well, that is one thing I will say is kind of an issue in film is when people strike, we sometimes tend to forget that there's other unions that aren't striking that now lose jobs, and not all of them have safety nets for everybody. So sometimes that's kind of rough, but, you know, again, people need equal pay, and striking sometimes, a lot of the times, helps that.
Right.
One thing I will say, though, that I think is a little bit stupid is SAG getting mad at wearing licensed movie costumes for Halloween.
That
That is not
okay.
getting us equal wages in SAG. I'm sorry
that
to
was
say.
just kind of like,
That was gimmicky.
it was gimmicky.
Because I was like, there are more important things going on in this strike right now than for you guys to be like, how dare you wear, like, how dare you dress like this? You know what I mean? It'd be like if you were.
Well, I guess it's a little different,
It's
though.
a little, because Blumhouse is a little bit separate.
Well,
They will actually,
but it's also
they're not
a
part
video
of the
game.
strike. It's also a video game. In
But
reference
if
to
you
seeing
say,
her
like,
a little in the movie.
But I will say, to counter that, when like Megan Fox dressed up as Gogo
Yes.
Yubari and then tagged SAG Afra, I was like, come on, girl.
Yeah, I do think that was kind of
Like,
silly, Anna, though.
But also,
because-
it's Megan Fox.
But also, it's Megan. Well, and also, I will say, in her defense, SAG never came to her defense at the amount of shit that was thrown at her in the early days, like during
True.
Transformers and whatnot, of how
Or
much she was fucked up
Jennifer's
for.
Body.
Right. So, like, SAG didn't really do anything for her in defense. So I kind of understand specifically her issue. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that everyone needs to do that because it's shitty and she was being petty.
Speaking
but
of,
I just remember the context with her.
Yeah, celebrities and movies. Celebrities and movies.
Who's been your favorite celebrity, like movie celebrity as of recently? Who's been your fave?
Honestly, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga's been a really
I mean,
good
A
one.
Star Is Born was really, really good.
You know who
Even
else I
to
really
this
liked?
day.
Florence Pugh.
In Midsummer?
In like Midsummer, and she's in Little Women. And
Don't Worry, Darling was a wild movie.
I didn't even watch Don't Worry, Darling.
It
There
was
was too
okay.
much stupid bad press around it. It turned me off.
That's exactly what it was.
But like,
who
I do
else?
like Florence Pugh. What celebrities do you not like? I can already name a few that I can. I don't like Gwyneth Paltrow.
I don't
already
like
said
Gwyneth
it.
Paltrow. I'm sorry. She's not a... Shakespeare in Love was a good movie, but I think that was probably the only time I've ever seen her act well.
Well, and also people that live in such a high level of privilege that they don't even ever have to leave their home if they don't want to turn around and be like, I didn't ask to be a Nepo baby, and it's kind of mean for you to like get mad about that. And then for her to not really
True.
help like anything societally for like people who are starving and dying, it's just such crap. And I'm just like, get over it. Like,
I
good God,
think-
get a grip, girl.
One of my... It's the shoes. I swear.
Sticky.
I think one of my celebrities that I find to be a better actress than a singer, obviously, is Jennifer Lopez. Because I like her in
J-Lo as a
movies.
pop star is fucking stupid.
Well,
she's
that,
kind of an
that was a
industry
whole
plant.
elaborate thing with Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she's
and-
kind of an industry plant.
Yes.
But as far as acting, I actually do enjoy her.
I think when she did Selena, she did a good job.
When she did Selena, what's that movie where she does Cardi B's story, Hustlers or something?
Oh, Hustler? Yeah.
Was it called Hustler?
I
liked
remember-
that movie a lot. I genuinely really liked Hustler, and I love that Cardi B was in it for like 2 minutes. She's
Remember
like a feature
my...
background.
True, she was.
Or not even a feature background.
No,
she's
she
a
was one of the like...
She has a line, but she's
Yeah.
technically a featured background, but she gets a line at least.
So that movie, do you remember... So this is going to be slightly off track, but I promise it makes sense.
We'll circle back. You know?
So my ex-boyfriend, the one that was your boyfriend's ex
Oh yes, my
stepbrother,
boyfriend's ex stepbrother.
which
yes.
small fucking
What a
world.
hilarious
I dated
small
him in
world.
like 2019, but our first date was watching that movie, and we watched it
Really?
at the Dollar Movie Theater.
Really?
Yes. And I kept sitting there and I was like, this is such an interesting movie for a first date. I was like, I mean, he was bisexual. And so I was like, oh, okay,
Wait,
work.
which movie was this again? My brain
Hustlers.
blipped. Hustlers, right.
But I was just like,
You think
oh,
that's a weird first date movie?
slightly.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
I wasn't expecting to, watch that and then go get it on that quickly.
Really?
Well, I mean, I was, but not that quickly. But yeah, it just was so strange. And then he broke up with me 3 days before Valentine's Day, and I was 19. Actually, I
Ew.
just turned 20. And then I drank an entire liter of Svedka vodka, and I
Wow.
mixed it with bubbly, and it was horrific.
That sounds like it.
Movies.
Here, let's take a break real quick.
Perfect. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with silly goose disease, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Queerly disturbed.
Disney knees? Yeah. What's that?
Have you been a victim of the 2004 legendary hit game Mousetrap? You haven't? Well, then you should watch the show.
Hands on the knees, Angelina Jolie. Hands on the knees, Angelina Jolie. Queerly disturbed.
She's the girl on the $1 million bill. I'm so. Thank you so much for letting me win 1996 Miss Texas. You don't know how much this means to me. Now I can finally use the bathroom in peace.
Did you put your finger in the pudding? Queerly disturbed.
In a world where vomit comes out of my mouth. I should do voiceover work. Queerly disturbed. Oh my goodness. Our first intermission. Moll said, I need a pee. And then didn't move and then said, there, I did it. I'm ready.
Yucky.
The thing is like a super soaker.
Oh my. Extra absorbent.
Oh.
That's why I put yellow in it. Just
Oh, and there it is. I can't get away with this. In this corset?
Oh, you're corseted?
I am. Oh, yes.
Girl,
I am.
you just need to get Spanx.
Oh, you
Or
hear
a
that?
waist trainer. Honestly, if you got a
Steal.
waist trainer,
Steal.
they work just like a corset, but they're not gonna fucking.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
You can
Who
at least bend
considered
in it, which is nice.
I can bend in this still.
You shouldn't though.
I shouldn't, but I do.
Oh.
So what were we talking about before we movies? So movies. So the thing about movies is that movies are they're movies, and most importantly, like the thing you can never forget about movies is that they're movies.
Wow. Moving pictures.
Smell-o-vision.
TV.
But
Do you like movies or TV better?
so here's the thing. When you asked me the question of what my favorite one was, I said, oh, hang on. Oh, that's very nice. There we go.
Get it, Circus Baby.
So, Clown College. One of the things that I have been obsessed with, I could totally get on my little soapbox about this. Mike Flanagan. I fucking love Mike Flanagan.
What's he been in? I know the name and I know I've seen him before. I just forget.
He's a director. So Mike Flanagan directed.
Right, he's done movies. Right.
He's done a couple movies. Like he did Hush, Gerald's Game. He's done
Interesting.
Before I Wake, I think. And then, but his like claim to fames in my book have been The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, I haven't given those a watch. Yeah, I don't really. Horror is. I'm so picky with horror, honestly.
But here's the thing about Mike Flanagan's horror is it's so different because it actually is emotional. He makes you feel emotion that you wouldn't necessarily feel by watching a Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, well, of course, because the Friday the 13th is a slasher.
Right. But that's what, like, so what he does.
Yeah, is it going to make you. So what you're saying is it's going to make you feel something like, let's say, an A24 horror, where, like, it's going to provoke a thought and a feeling.
Sort
and
of.
not just be scary.
It's more so, like, it's not necessarily provoking a feeling as it is a open discussion about mental health a lot of the times, or like a specific concept that is further studied. I mean, it's basically like watching an 8-hour long movie, but it's so fucking good you can't stop.
Interesting.
Like, so to put it into perspective, like The Haunting of Hill House, it takes place in like normal times, but it's about the trauma that these 5 kids endured while they lived at this haunted house.
Okay.
And how it affected them as adults. And it's so strong. Oh, was that your phone?
Oh, it is. It is. Can we cut real quick? And we're back. So
And we're
sorry. We were inquired about beverages.
I'm so excited.
We have beverages arriving for us. But yes.
So Hill
Haunting of
House.
Hill House. Yes.
So one of the cool things that I love about Mike Flanagan is he does kind of like what American Horror Story does, where he reuses actors that have been in other things that he's done.
Oh, right. Like AHS. Yes.
Yes, and it's so
But probably better.
effective. So the ones that, if I had to rank them, the ones that I'm like, we need to watch, Hill House is number 1. Like, Hill House would make you cry. Because it's so good.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Carla Gugino is in it. A couple others. But it's really good. Bly Manor is It's a sad lesbian one, and I love it so much.
Okay.
So what's also cool about it is that each one of the shows is based off like a certain author's work. So, like The Haunting of Hill House was a book by Shirley
okay,
Jackson
okay.
back in the 50s. Was not anything like the show, but, it was an adaptation. The Haunting of Bly Manor was based on Henry James's work, and he was the one who wrote, like, The Turning of the Screw. And so Mike Flanagan incorporated a couple different stories into that season. Midnight Mass was actually his own original work, and he had been waiting on that for like 8 years, I think, before he finally was like, okay, let's do this.
Right.
And it's so good. It made me boohoo sob.
Really?
And it's a commentary on religious trauma. And
okay.
it takes place on this little island that's like maybe 100 or so people.
Right.
And there's I'm not going to spoil it, but there's something that happens that causes them to start turning into this really crazy shit.
Weird.
It's good. And the ending made me cry.
Yeah,
Because it just reminded me a lot of growing up with religious trauma.
Interesting.
And then his newest one was The Fall of the House of Usher. Oh my God. It's Edgar Allan Poe's work. And I mean, there were stories in there that I remember reading in high school that I was like, holy shit. I'm surprised he remembered that one.
Right. Interesting.
And it's so good. It's definitely, I think there was a rumor that it's like his last Netflix thing, which I'm kind of bummed about because he makes such good shit. But
Netflix is kind of trash, so it's probably,
right.
I mean, I guess.
But he was like, all right, we're going to go all out on the gore. It's going to be way more mature. I mean, there's a scene in it that when I first watched it, I viscerally was like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, do you want a little spoiler?
Yo, good. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. I
Okay.
love spoilers.
Spoiler.
It doesn't bother me.
Here's our spoiler warning
spoiler alert for those
The
of
Fall of the
all-
House of Usher.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
There is a part in like the second episode where the whole show centers around this guy named Roderick Usher, and he's like the patriarch of this really ultra wealthy family. Like think the Sacklers, because it centers around them making a drug called Ligadone, which is basically OxyContin.
Oh, okay.
And it's so they have all this massive money, and it centers around all of his kids dying, and they're all pieces of shit.
Right.
But one of them is like, he's the youngest. He's like, I'm going to host a big rave sex party, and it's $20,000 an invite. And they do it at one of the company's abandoned buildings. And what he didn't know was that the little oil tanks or whatever on top of the building were filled with acid and acidic chemicals from making the drugs and not water, and thinking that there was water inside, he was going to like spray it down and everyone's going to have a big old orgy, right? Comes down and then everyone melts into one big giant flesh puddle.
Ew.
And some of them are still alive.
Ew.
And it oh my God, like I sat there and I was like, this is disturbing and I love it.
That's insane.
Oh.
I don't know if I could watch that. Body horror is not for
It's
me, unfortunately.
surprisingly, it's not as bad as like some horror movies. Like it's not Saw level, but
Really?
it's not. But it was so
Interesting.
effective.
Weird.
And Carla Gugino is the villain. I fucking love Carla Gugino. She was the mom in Spy Kids.
Oh, I do like her.
She's amazing.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, she's a phenomenal actress, and she does not get enough recognition. But that show,
That's so wild.
like, and it's all a recounting of these events that have happened, and like from Roderick Usher, and he's telling it to this detective, and the detective's like, "How do you know all of this?" And he's like, "Because my kids are telling me." And he's like, "Well, how would you know this part?" He's like, "No, he told me after he died." And it's
Wow.
it's so good. I'm not going to spoil anything else, but like
That's so wild.
it's a show we need to watch.
Okay, I'll maybe check it out with you.
But it's basically like a movie, like with all of the
Right.
episodes.
It's very like film-esque.
And it's such a good commentary on like the Purdue Pharma fucking business, and I love it.
That's so fascinating. I love watching really awful movies. I'm a big
She
fan
does.
of really just fucking dumbass, mentally regressed movies. I think
One
they're
of our
so
favorites in
iconic.
high school, Zombievers. Loves on
interesting.
Beavers.
One of my favorites is like one of them. Oh, Idiocracy is one of my favorites.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Idiocracy is really funny. It has Maya Rudolph in it, and a few other people, and it's about this dude who pretty much agrees to be like cryogenically frozen by some military experiment.
Okay.
And then it ends up getting defunded and forgotten about, and he's just in this thing forever. And then it opens like 1,000 years later or something, and it's in a very dystopian future where like the trash is built up so high we can't control it anymore. We water the plants with Gatorade. Fucking what is it? What is his name?
So it basically-
I think no, not Randy Jackson. I'm so sorry. This actor, he's this really famous actor. I forget what his name is, but he's like
I was about to say Randy Travis, and I was like, that is a country singer.
I forget. Let me look it up just real quick, because you'll know the actor once I say it. You'll know, and he plays the president of the United States, and he pretty much has to figure out. He wants to figure out how to get back to the present, but he can't. So he just has to figure out how to make it work where he is, and he ends up becoming president.
Do you know what that sounds like to me?
Uh-huh.
It sounds like a mix between Futurama and WALL-E.
It does have a Wall-E vibe to it, because it's like a lot of people are just like
Trash.
they're just trash people. They're like really brain dead.
Literal
and they
trash
just watch
people.
a lot of advertisements, and kind of everything is an ad, and everything is
everything not an ad now?
Oh, it's getting there. Yeah, no, it's kind of. There's little parts
Your
of it where
phones
I'm
are
like,
listening to you.
Rude.
Katy Perry.
No, literally, but yeah. So it's
Speaking
all
of
just.
celebrities in movies,
Has she been in movies?
she has been in a TV show that I very distinctly remember.
That sounds really stupid.
It was a Disney Channel show.
Oh,
And it was called
God.
My Babysitter's a Vampire.
Oh, I never watched that. I just remember hearing the ad for it.
Loved it.
You were into Disney Channel just a little bit later than me. It's
I
because
was.
you're just a little younger than me.
I was at the right at the peak of the first Descendants.
Yeah,
so
you you at least got through Good Luck Charlie and stuff. I stopped
I
it.
didn't watch that show.
I know, but you were in that era.
But I was in that era.
Yeah, no, I stopped at Shake It Up and Good Luck Charlie.
I watched Shake It Up.
I
but
didn't
yeah.
like Shake It Up. Shake It Up was kind of stupid.
There
But we
was
love Zendaya and Bella Thorne.
True.
So.
There was a scene in My Babysitter's a Vampire where I think it was the episode where the younger sister gets this doll that comes alive, and it's fucking Katy Perry.
Weird.
And it's so crazy. I remember
Katy
rewatching
Perry.
it, and I
She's
was like,
so
what
strange.
a trip.
Katy Perry's such a trip.
Who else is Miley Cyrus did acting, obviously, with Hannah Montana.
Yes, love her in fucking Hannah Montana.
Love her.
She's so iconic.
She's so
Hannah Montana is
crazy.
such a staple. But I mean, there definitely are parts of it where you watch it as an adult, and even like, I don't even want to fully like enable the Delulu Disney adults. There are parts of it that are cringe.
My work bestie is a Disney adult.
Oh, the
and
Disney,
it's so funny.
yeah, and unfortunately, Disney is actually supporting a genocide. It's so annoying. But their content that they've made throughout the years has been very, very good, unfortunately, and it's all very nostalgic.
It's gone
for
downhill,
us.
though.
It has gone downhill, though. Like this new Wish movie that they're making that looks AI generated as fuck, and I'm
It's
like,
rough.
y'all doing your shit, supporting people literally getting killed, and then you're making this shit? Ooh.
Free Palestine.
Yeah, free Palestine, because I'm not even going to argue with anyone on that.
That's right.
If you try to argue with me, you are most likely not on the right area about that. But that's besides the point.
But okay, so you know a celebrity, you're gonna immediately go, "Oh, I know exactly who she's talking about." But a celebrity that I hold very dear, but I will say she is not a good actress, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I love Taylor Swift. I love
know
her to
you
pieces.
do, unfortunately.
She's just not a good actress.
She better not become a billionaire either. But she also isn't a good actress. But not many people are. So I
Which is
actually don't
okay.
fault her for that.
Like,
a lot
she-
of people aren't good
some
actresses
people
or
just-
actors.
Yeah, some people just aren't.
Some people are just not.
I do remember, though, that the one thing I remember her very distinctly doing good in was the Lorax.
Interesting.
She was the girl in the
only thing I
Lorax.
ever remember her in was
Cats.
Valentine's Day and Cats.
Oh, Valentine's Day. I remember that one.
When it was the
but
whole
that one was
Taylor
like
and Taylor.
intentionally bad.
And it was intentionally bad, so like it wasn't really her fault. But yeah,
Cats was
I
rough.
I didn't even watch.
Did
Cats.
you see the part in Amsterdam where she's in it and then she gets pushed into the car?
No.
Oh,
No, I haven't seen her in that one.
That is me.
Also, crossing my legs keeps fucking hurting. It's awful.
Who else? Like, I mean, Beyonce is a phenomenal actress.
Yeah, Beyonce's a good
I
actress.
remember when she was in
Nicki
Austin
Minaj,
Powers.
surprisingly, is a good actress.
She's not bad.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj has been in some pretty good stuff. As far as like TV and film, she's good.
You know who is not a good actress or comedian or anything? Amy fucking Schumer.
Yeah, Amy Schumer's a piece of shit.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer, you are a piece of shit. Just so you're aware.
I looked on her Twitter.
Okay, bye.
I was like, I want to see something, and she only gets like 200 likes a post.
No, yeah, she's trash.
And I was like,
and she has gross ideals about things, and she's been a
does.
joke stealer.
Can
and I
you
think she's
imagine
broke-
her being
No, I don't
cast in
wanna
the Barbie movie?
Has she like been kind of gross to people?
Yeah.
I was gonna say she's like groped someone, Loki.
I don't
know
that
about
part.
that. I don't want to assume that, but I've heard allegations that she might be kind of like.
Well,
But we
so-
don't know that. But we do know that she's a joke stealer and kind of just a trash person in general.
She's also a Zionist.
And she's also a Zionist.
But which also you can't you can be supportive of your Jewish family and your Jewish friends and not be Zionist.
Oh, it is not anti-Semitic to be anti-Zionist. That's propaganda. Like, yeah.
So
We're just gonna be clear on that.
Amy Schumer apparently was supposed to be cast as Barbie in the movie. Could
That
you
would've
fucking
literally
imagine?
made me want. I would have literally.
That movie would have
off.
flopped so bad.
Oh, it would have been awful. Everyone would have fucking hated it.
Which is why I love Margot Robbie.
I do like Margot Robbie too.
She's so
Yeah,
cool.
Margot Robbie is really enjoyable to watch.
You know, Halsey's done acting, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
She actually
Halsey
was
isn't
here.
bad.
She was here.
Yeah, Halsey isn't too bad. And you know what? I recently saw a performance of Halsey where she sings live and paints.
Yes, that's
And I was
cool.
very impressed by that.
That is
I was
cool.
like, okay,
She did that
I
for
respect
SNL?
you. She, I think, did that for SNL, and I actually was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I highly respect that, actually. That was impressive.
Well, and I also think like I don't know, there are sometimes that certain entertainers, we hold everyone to the standard of like, oh, you need to have a Whitney Houston voice. You need to have a Mariah Carey voice. Or
No,
you
you
need
don't
to
need
have
to be
these
you
acting
don't need to be a
skills.
vocalist.
Well, you
To
know,
be
as
like a singer or a pop star, or like you
Right.
don't need to be a vocalist. A
You don't-
vocalist is like someone who uses singing as like an instrument,
Like
they're-
Adele.
right? Like Adele.
You don't
like,
see Adele sitting there going, "Oh, look at all these dance moves." But Taylor
Yeah,
Swift,
Adele is a
Britney Spears,
vocalist.
Katy Perry, like they can sing. I mean,
Yes.
but their whole thing is it's a performance,
right, but they're not like Beyonce is a vocalist.
Beyonce is
has
that
a
rare type that's like she's a
kinda does it
vocalist
all.
and she does dancing.
Yeah,
So it's just
but she is definitely a
Like Ariana
vocalist.
Grande.
Ariana Grande is a vocalist.
I mean, Ariana Grande is also like kind of a dancer too.
She's got some dancey things. I think she can dance for her concerts, which is great. But I don't think I don't even think she would fully consider herself
Pink.
a dancer. I think Ari
Pink.
would consider herself like a vocalist and
Yeah.
like a theater person, of course.
I would rank Pink and Beyonce on the same level in terms of like performance, like being a vocalist and being a dancer.
Exactly.
Because Pink goes fucking nuts on
and then
her
like
little-
Celine Dion's a vocalist.
Celine Dion just can't sing anymore.
I know, it's so hard on her.
It's
it
just rough.
sucks. I couldn't imagine having such a crazy, amazing gift and then you have to stop because it's otherwise going to hurt you. That's awful.
There are very few artists that start off in music that do acting successfally. Like Lady
There's
Gaga's
very
one.
few. Lady Gaga is kind
Cher.
of like a far and few, and Cher has been a really good actress. Mandy Moore is fun.
Mandy Moore is a
Mandy-
good actress,
Mandy
but she's
Moore's-
not known for her music.
No, but you know what? Her stuff in the '90s when she was trying to do Britney Spearsy kind of stuff is fucking good.
Yeah,
she
that's
was
true.
very much like,
That's
and she
true.
wasn't being like charted like Britney, but I can definitely tell that her style that she wanted to go for and that her label went for is they kind of wanted to put her in the same realm as Britney.
You know who else got pushed to be the next Britney Spears?
Who?
Jessica Simpson.
Yes.
She had music. She had like one album, and then she went to her fashion line, and we never saw her again.
I love those clips of her singing.
That's Ashley Simpson.
No, it's Jessica Simpson.
Is
You can
it?
Look at it. Yeah, and then she goes, "Take my breath away."
True, 'cause-
and she's
but
so iconic. I
will
love
say,
Jessica Simpson.
I wanna love you forever. Is such a good song.
Yeah, no, she's
Like
fun.
that to me. That's such a good. This is gonna be so random. That's such a good horror movie song.
Have you heard Jessica Simpson sing with Jewel?
No, but I do
you need to
love
look it up
Jewel.
because there's a part when she does Jewel's big beginning part. You can tell that Jewel is like low key like, is this bitch making fun of me? Because literally Jessica's like, they tryna hoes, they tryna buzz, they tryna and the time some and
my
like she
God.
literally, it is the best thing ever. And Jewel is just like playing her guitar while trying not to laugh. I think. Oh, we
And
love Jessica Simpson.
Jewel was a very interesting case where she was like one of those 2000 burnouts. Like,
Well, I don't even consider her. Have you seen her on TikTok lately? She
No.
she lives almost off grid, low key.
Work.
And she literally was like, yeah, I didn't give a shit about that type, like doing label music anymore.
Sounds
Like
about
she
right.
literally was like, yeah, I want to go be in nature and I want to go have like
My-
I'm pretty sure lives pretty off grid, like Earthship style almost or something.
Word.
Like she's honestly an icon.
I think my favorite song of hers was Intuition.
I haven't listened to a lot of Jewel. I just know of her
I
a bit
love
as a
that one.
person.
But yeah, like
Oh, Britney Spears acted one.
Britney Spears
She's-
acted.
And you know what? We were talking about this on the way
Christina,
over.
I mean, you can't
Britney
talk about
tried for the
Showgirls.
Britney tried for The Notebook.
Right.
Britney tried for The Notebook. Honestly, I
And
personally
her
think that
audition
it
tape
would.
is online, I think.
Yeah, you can watch it, and it's not bad. She's a good actress, but I don't actually think it would have made the movie good because
All they would have talked
besides-
about is Britney Spears.
Right, and besides that, her movie Crossroads was literally a copy of her life. So it's
Yeah.
and she's talked about how that method acting was not great for her. So I just don't think it would have been like I think she would have been good, but she wouldn't have been Rachel McAdams because Rachel McAdams is
Well,
like
Rachel
a
McAdams
pro
is-
actress.
I was gonna say.
She's like pursued that very professionally.
You know who is very interesting? Jennifer Hudson. Because Jennifer Hudson's actually
Yes.
an EGOT winner. She's one of the, I think she was
Really?
the first black woman to win EGOT status.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer
she's
Hudson's
still
an
young.
icon. Yeah, Jennifer Hudson's iconic.
I mean,
And she's a pretty good actress.
one of my favorite things that I've ever seen Jayha do was when she did the tribute to Whitney Houston after she died. And she did I Will Always Love You at the Grammys. I can't remember if it was the Grammys or if it was the Oscars. I think it was the Grammys. But it was so good.
Really?
I think that song in particular is very it truly separates the girls from the women. Because it's like if you can't sing that song, then you're kind of screwed.
Right.
Or like
Oh.
if you try to. And there's sometimes
bands in film, which is really interesting, I find.
I'll never forget Green
like
Day and the Simpsons
Rob Zombie
movie.
doing movies.
Rob Zombie's Halloween is all right.
Like, and he's done other movies too that people like more than his Halloween
He did the
movies.
Munsters, and it didn't do very
Well,
well.
and people didn't care for his new Munsters, but people really like House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses is good because
and then
it's
people,
not-
it's his Halloween movies aren't the best, but people do appreciate them at least.
I think the first one's good.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Nightwish?
No.
So Nightwish is
Makes me think of that new movie that's coming out by Blumhouse called Night Swim. And I was like, are we really making an evil swimming pool?
no.
Like, I get it. Swimming at night can be a little creepy, but are we really making an evil swimming pool?
No, I don't even want to talk about the evil swimming pool. But yeah, no. Nightwish is like this Northern European like metal orchestra band,
Okay.
and they're honestly their history is very interesting because they've skimmed through like a lot of singers, and they've been through just a lot of drama low key. Like they're one of those bands very similar to let's say things like Metallica, where at some point they just kind of become a brand, and it maybe is best if they
Like
just fucking
Misfits?
break up and leave already. Yeah, it's one of the and Nightwish isn't at the level of a brand like that, but they've been around so long where it's like y'all need to like let it go at this point because you already have such a catalog that's good.
Like what NSYNC tried to do by coming back, and then Britney
Yes.
Spears said, no.
Yes. But like there was a minute in like 2012 where they made a full-length film that my boyfriend and I watched together. And it is so good. It low-key is a tearjerker. It's literally about this dude who like I think he has like dementia and he's
Okay.
going through like his childhood memory. And it's like this
And
whole
then it
thing.
starts playing Nickelback's Look at this photograph.
No, it's the entire band does the score though, and they
Oh.
do the entire soundtrack of the movie, and the visuals in it are
To be
surprisingly
fair,
good.
I mean, that is kind of what happened with Nine Inch Nails. Is
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails moved from being like a band to being more like focused on film stuff.
yes,
Or
But yeah,
they
sometimes
produced Halsey's newest album, and it was so
interesting.
good.
Yeah, no, some bands that have been around for a long time, they make really good content. Like besides just music, some of them get
Or
film involved, and
I
it's
guess
very
the
impressive.
Foo Fighters made a movie too.
I think they did.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah, I
watch
think
it.
they
But
did.
you know who else is a real? I just thought of this. Who is a really surprisingly good actress? Has a good perfume line that isn't crazy expensive and is a good singer. Billie Eilish.
That's true. Yeah, Billie Eilish is a big old nepo baby, but you know what? She's a likable one at least.
She's got a good voice.
Yeah, she's a likable one at least.
Her perfume line I've heard is really good, and that's reasonably priced for a perfume line. For the big bottle, it's like $75, which I was even like, I might get that. But and she was in that Swarm show on Prime,
Oh, I haven't
and it
seen
was
that.
so interesting. She actually in a way, it made me forget that I was watching Billie Eilish.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That's
And
actually
what
a good
you want.
sign.
When
That's,
you are a celebrity acting in a movie, you want the audience to go, "Oh my god, I forgot that was so and so," and not, "I'm just watching Justin Timberlake in a movie."
you know who did that for me? Robert Pattinson as Batman. I was watching him and I was
Yeah.
like, I keep forgetting this is Robert Pattinson because and I'm not saying that he's never played a role like that before because he was very emo Edward Cullen, of course. But I
mean,
think
he did The
it was just kind of,
Lighthouse,
it was,
and
oh,
it
and The
was-
Lighthouse is so good. The Lighthouse is so awesome.
wild.
Like it was one of those, Batman was one of those movies and even The Lighthouse where I was like, wow, this is Robert Pattinson from Twilight. This is impressive.
Yeah.
Like both of those movies, I was like, this is cool.
I think what's very interesting is the reputation of booking a certain actor to play Batman. Like minus Ben Affleck, we don't talk about that Batman, but Christian Bale, when he got cast to be Batman, everyone was like, Christian Bale's not gonna be Batman. That
He
doesn't
did
make
really
any
well
sense.
though.
Became one of the best movie series of all time.
Yeah, he did Batman actually very well.
Um,
Some people are, some
or
of those
like casting
actors
Heath
are.
Ledger as the Joker. Everyone
Yep.
was like, Heath Ledger can't be the Joker. And
No, he
and then
did really
proceeded
well
to
for his
give-
time though. Rip Heath Ledger.
For real. That
Yeah, he was
No one really
fabulous.
talks about how that role takes a lot out of you.
Method acting can destroy you.
Well, not
I
just
mean,
method
even-
acting, but like specifically method acting the Joker.
Yeah,
The way
method acting mentally ill villains is like really dangerous.
You know what? That's such a good topic. Mentally ill villains. Like villains or like mental health in media. Because
Oh, true. Yeah, because we could talk about Britney Spears too.
we could talk about Britney Spears. I mean,
I love her.
I could go on an entire rant about how each one of Batman's villains represents a certain aspect of mental illness,
Mental illness.
mental illness, and how it reflects Batman's own personality. I mean, the Batman the Animated Series was one of my favorite things as a kid. Actually, you know what? That's my top. That is my number one show / movie of all time. Batman the Animated Series. There is nothing that has been made like that since, and there never will be.
True.
Because it was all hand drawn, and it was a perfect blend of the comic book, because the animated series really took the character in a way that was dark but not necessarily graphic.
Right.
Because there were still guns and stuff, because back then you could have like guns in the show, but it wasn't like, oh, here's a dead body on the ground, or like the Joker. Like, you knew that the villains were bad people, but you also felt sympathy for them because the show tackled different angles. I mean, hello, like the whole show gave Harley Quinn an entire standing. Harley
True.
Quinn did not it was kind of a rarity because Harley was the first character to be brought in from TV to comic book.
Right.
That was not a thing. Everyone else in that show prior to that moment was already in the comic books.
Oh, interesting. That's so cool.
Harley was so popular that Paul Dini was like, well, shit, I guess we just need to put her in the books then.
Right. She
And
might
then-
as well be put in the lore. And then there we go. And now we have
And now
so
she's
much.
the fourth. So DC has this thing called the Pillars. So they're 4 most successful selling characters. And for the longest time, it was the 3 pillars. It was Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then the 4th one was Harley Quinn.
Oh, interesting.
That's how they
That's so
address her,
cool.
is as the 4th pillar, because she's been their most successful outside of Wonder Woman, their most successful female hero, anti-hero, whatever. Mm-hmm. She's much more of a hero now, but yeah.
That's so cool.
True story.
You know who else is a really terrible actress but has a fabulous perfume line and good music?
Who?
Avril Lavigne.
True.
Avril Lavigne has a perfume that you could get at Kohl's. I got it for my sister, and it's really good. She had a really nice, like, sweet, like, kind of caramel one. It was nice.
I just think of
And her
Elizabeth
music
Taylor's
is so
White
iconic.
Diamonds.
True. But yeah, but Avril Lavigne's acting skills, not there. She was the possum in Over the Hedge.
Was she
Yeah,
really?
she was the daughter possum in Over the Hedge. Yep, that was
Holy hell.
That was
What is with that weird?
That was Best Damn Thing. Like that was like probably like that was like a year before Best Damn Thing is like set to release Avril Lavigne. So her hair is like bleached blonde, but she's still on tour for her Under My Skin album.
You know what that?
And it's so iconic, but she's not good. She's also in a movie called what is it called? She's in Fast Food Nation, which I never saw, but she's
never
in
heard
this
of it.
weird movie called Fast Food Nation for a little, and I think I watched clips of her in it, and she's very much like a feature background actress. She's not very good.
You know,
But we love Avril Lavigne for other stuff.
what's so funny is you saying that made me think of celebrities in voice acting, like how I talked about Taylor Swift on the.
Oh yeah, like how Ashley Tisdale was Candace and Phineas and Ferb the
Uh-huh.
entire time, and like not many people were
Well,
fully aware.
Up until and I know exactly the turning point for voice acting because pre this movie, every single voice acting role was treated like subpar. Like you were not a real actor because you did voice acting. That's
Right,
why,
which is really stupid.
which is crazy because if you look at a lot of old Disney movies, you don't know who any of the actors are. Like I know who played Snow White. I can't say her name because it's like really Italian, but when she got signed to play as Snow White, she had to sign a contract that she would never be able to use her voice for another recording again.
That's insane.
And then she was broke. She did Snow White and she was broke.
That's why Disney fucking sucks.
But up until Aladdin was the movie that changed. Because Aladdin, they booked Robin Williams as the genie. And Robin Williams was already an established actor at that point.
Right.
So when they saw how successful Aladdin was, they went, oh, we'll just we'll replace all of these regular actors with celebrities who don't know what they're doing. Not necessarily all the time, but like we'll put a celebrity name onto this voice acting role because it means that someone's going to watch it. Which is why now we
Right.
have like The Rock in Moana or like
Right, and like Mandy Moore playing Rapunzel.
right. It's like and sometimes they do a very good job. Like those two do a good job. Or they
Yeah.
get thrown into something like The Secret Life of Pets or
Right.
some weird chicken shit DreamWorks animation studio or
Yeah, there have been many animated movies that have had like big cast names and they suck.
Yeah.
They fucking suck. It's wild.
And then you'll have movies with a very
Regular
unheard of
voice
cast.
actors, yeah, that you wouldn't.
And it's fucking phenomenal. But it doesn't get any coverage.
Yep. There's a lot of people there's a lot of voice actors that people love that have done like a lot of video games that people like that you would
Oh,
never
yeah.
guess.
Yep.
It is so wild. But yeah,
And that really goes to show the versatility of an actor is if you
True,
can do physical work and you can do voice acting and no one knows it's you. Or you
True.
can do like
oh, you know who was so good at that? Eartha Kitt. Oh,
Eartha Kitt.
my God. Eartha Kitt in
I was
Emperor's
just
New
watching,
Groove,
yeah.
Kronk's New Groove, and then the entire 2 seasons of Emperor's New School is Eartha Kitt. Emperor's New School is one of the last things she did before
Yep.
she passed away.
Yes, she did.
And it, like, a lot of Disney TV shows that spin off of movies do badly. The only ones that did pretty well is people really liked The Little Mermaid
Hercules.
series. People liked Hercules. And Emperor's New School was one that was like, it's not that people loved it and it was a hit, but it was very true to the movies.
Yes.
It was very, very, very true to the movies. The continuity around him going to school, you could argue a little was weird, but it literally did stay true to its own world.
Right,
It stayed true
right.
to its characters and its function. And it actually is kind of really, really, really entertaining to watch. It's very, very fun.
It makes me
Eartha
think of-
Kitt is just a treasure.
I guess you can't really talk about movies without talking about Disney. But
No,
like,
it sucks.
Disney,
It sucks that companies like Disney are being as evil as they are, and
you can't get that kind of money without being unethical.
Oh, it's horrid. Yeah, no, it's
But,
awful.
uh,
But they've made some fucking good ass visual content.
Well, and that's what's so funny is like I remember such a trend in like the 90s and early 2000s for the Disney Renaissance. They'd have like this epic blockbuster movie like The Little Mermaid or
Our
Aladdin.
beverages are here. You can keep it going.
Okay.
You keep talking.
So,
and I'll be right back.
like Aladdin and all of these movies, and it's just so funny. Oh, okay, it's all me by myself. Hi, welcome to the show. So during this time, there would be these sequels that would come out that were just absolute garbage. Like everyone would be sitting there like, we didn't ask for Pocahontas 2, A New World, or whatever it was called, and it was also horribly historically inaccurate. Or like The Little Mermaid 2. I always sit there, and one of my favorite lines from the whole movie is when Sebastian's like, Ursula's crazy sister, because it's like. It's the exact same fucking plot of the first movie. And sometimes it would be like, don't get me wrong, there are times that there are movies where the sequel does do well. Like Cinderella 2 was garbage. We don't talk about that movie, but Cinderella 3 was really good. And I mean, I remember watching it as a kid and I was like, what the fuck? This is actually good. Yeah, this is wild. I love that I've also just continued the show like Moll is just sitting right here. It's normal. I'm talking to the voices in my head at this point. But yeah, some movies like Shrek did really well, and then Shrek 2 was, when it came out, the 5th highest grossing animated film of all time, which is sometimes insane to look back at, but I mean, when you have that sort of raw talent and you have the good writing behind it, it works. And then, not to mention you have a bunch of shitty spin-off video games that come off of it, like really shitty platformers that were super big in the early 2000s, like Shrek or any knockoff movie that was made by Activision. But yeah, oh my gosh. Wow. I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is finally my moment. Okay. I say that right as she walks in. I no joke. I literally just had a whole conversation about Disney sequels by myself, and it was kind of amazing. I really sat there and was like, oh, there's a full moon out tonight, ladies. Heavy flow. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. So I was just telling the audience about shitty Disney sequel movies. So like Pocahontas 2.
Pocahontas in general.
Yeah, or like
Like Pocahontas, poor Pocahontas.
I know.
She was only like 12, wasn't she? Yeah, fuck that movie. The music in that
music's
movie
good.
is so beautiful sounding, but fuck that movie.
Only the one song.
Yeah, fuck
But
that movie.
actually 2 songs, because Just Around the River Band is really good. But
Yeah, and also, how dare you, Disney, only make like that one?
Mhm.
Thank God, like,
Well, and they were
thank
always
God
straight
we
to
love.
DVD.
Thank God, Lilo and Stitch is very like a lot of people like Lilo and Stitch, and I'm like, because that was also a nice. And I don't speak for Hawaiian people because I'm a
Right.
white ass, but I would say
I
like
actually have a Hawaiian
it.
family.
Really,
I do.
It feels like Lilo and Stitch. They tried harder. It feels like they did. Again, I am white, so I probably I can't have an opinion on that
Well-
fully, but I feel like it was a little, at least compared to something like Pocahontas when it comes to representing a native person. Lilo and Stitch was at least like a step further because Pocahontas is it's atrocious. It's blasphemous.
Well, and what I was talking about is like how a lot of those movies were just sent straight to DVD because they were so bad. Like one of my
true.
favorite, I was just talking about The Little Mermaid 2. How
You know what? I think people liked that one though.
it was okay.
That was one that didn't fully flop. Like the people who love Little Mermaid most likely
but
like
that's
the
because
second
it's
one.
the exact same plot.
But it's not right. It's just her daughter. It's literally
My favorite line-
a repeat of family patterns.
The
It's kind of
whole
funny.
my favorite line from that whole movie is when Sebastian goes, "Ursula's crazy sister," because that sums up the entire movie. It's just the same
Yeah.
fucking thing, and it's played by the exact same actress.
And also, that's so stupid as far as continuity because Ursula doesn't have a crazy sister. It's Ursula and it's
Triton.
and they're related. And in the original lore of that, like before even the Little Mermaid movie, it is known that Triton banished it. He fucking like swindles Ursula out of part of the ocean because he's a dick and he's a man. And takes it from her and then banishes her to her own cave and is like, "Fuck you, bitch, fuck off." And that's why it low-key makes sense why she like does him the way that she does through his daughter. Like it kind of
It's
so with the
smart.
Little Mermaid 2 being thrown in there, it was really just Disney playing gimmick.
Yeah. They just wanted
but
a
it was
cash
kind of
grab.
cute though. But it's definitely a cash grab. Totally,
I
a
will
cash
say
grab.
the one Disney sequel that I totally believe is like actually good, like Cinderella 2, not good. Cinderella 2 is garbage, mama. Cinderella 3
really
is so good because
interesting.
So
is
Cinderella
this the one where
3
one of the sisters turns nice? Yeah, that's one of the ones.
Well, so okay, she turns nice in the second one, but the second one's not really a
okay,
movie.
right.
It's more so like a collection of stories. It's just
Oh, I can tell you what that is. I can tell you. Let me. When that happens, because I have a movie in mind, and don't let me forget. Like, remind me, I have a movie in mind.
okay.
If a movie is like that, like Cinderella 2, it means that Disney tried pushing it as a Disney Channel show and it flopped.
Right.
So it just turned. So
Which
they just
makes
make.
sense.
They'll normally turn the first few episodes into a full-length movie, but it's really like 3 or 4 episodes of a show. It's so stupid.
Which is exactly what that movie is.
Yep.
But the
But
third
Cinderella
movie,
3 is actually a movie.
So yes. So the third movie
And when
is
did
about.
It come out?
Oh God, this had to have been the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Mid, like maybe mid.
Must be.
But it takes place after the Happily Ever After, and the stepmom and the 2 stepsisters get a hold of Fairy Godmother's wand, and they turn back time so that Anastasia
Interesting.
becomes the princess.
Oh, interesting.
And then it's all about like Cinderella
kinda
having
fun.
to like Cinderella actually is a character.
right. She's actually developed and isn't like a boring
And so is the
1950s
Prince
Disney
Charming.
version. Right.
He's so funny. in
Oh,
the-
that's fun. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
But then they like fall in love again,
Oh,
and
okay.
the
That's
fairy
cute.
godmother's like, "Do you want to go back to your old lives?" And they're like, "No, we like this one."
That's sweet, honestly.
Or like Beauty and the Beast had a sequel that was
It
a
did, and that
Christmas
one
movie.
flopped.
And,
you know which one is one of the worst of all? Atlantis.
Oh God!
Atlantis' sequel is what I was just talking
Atlantis
about. Where
never
it was
gets talked about.
It was 3 episodes of a show they were trying to push, and no one gave a fuck about it. Everyone thought it was stupid as shit, so it never happened. But the sequel is actually 3 episodes of a show, and it was
Yeah.
stupid. It's dumb how they did it. It pretty much they pretty much take the original cast and they just want to start sending them on like supernatural mysteries. So there's one where
Right.
they go to like a creepy like fish business ghost town. You know, like ones that depend on fishing and they're all cloudy and
Right.
stuff. Very Jaws. They go there and there's like a ghost
very
situation.
Jaws meets The Grudge.
Yeah, there's like a ghost situation there, and then they go to like the Southwest and there's like New Mexico. It looks a lot like New Mexico. I think it's
Okay.
Arizona. And they have some ghosty, weird like native ghost shit, which is strange. And then there's one other plot that happens, and I can't remember it, but it's some other like ghosty thing, and people just didn't care for it. It was
Yeah.
dumb. But Atlantis won.
It's a good movie.
Immaculate. It's
Treasure
amazing.
Planet?
Treasure Planet is good too, and you know what? It's one of my boyfriend's favorite movies, and him and I talked about this.
So good.
Treasure Planet only didn't do as well because it was riding off of the back of Atlantis. As far as
Yeah.
animation style, unfortunately.
They do look very
And
similar.
they do, and Atlantis did it. Atlantis, it's not that they like, because they do have some differences. Treasure Planet has a little bit more 3D in it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where
It didn't age very well.
Atlantis kind of did it first.
Yeah.
And they did it a little better because it wasn't in space.
Oh.
But the plot of Treasure Planet and a lot of the animation in it is really good.
Well, 'cause
it's
it's
very
based on
beautiful. It's
Treasure
really-
Island.
Yeah, and it's got a sweet story to it. It has a
Right.
really, really sweet story.
You know
but
what?
yeah, it just didn't,
I was-
it didn't take off as well.
I was talking about this last night, and now that we're talking about movies, I can finally bring up my conspiracy theory, and it is a movie. So, y'all have definitely watched the Scooby-Doo live-action movies, and if you haven't, then why are you on this channel? Because
True.
it's drag culture.
I really want to see the first Scooby-Doo movie unedited rated R version.
Me too, because
I want the rated R version.
Velma's supposed to be a lesbian.
Yeah, because did you ever see the cutscenes?
Yes.
That didn't even make it rated R. They were just like cutscenes that were from the original PG-13 one, I think. And
no, it was just PG.
Oh, it was. And she's in the bathroom, like push-up bra titties, like looking cunt as fuck. And like, oh yeah, no, I want the rated R one. Yes, and she's like, she's like drunk on the piano. Oh, and the part where her and you can actually see it in the original edit, the PG edit. The scene where she is drinking at the bar and she sees Daphne. She's supposed to be checking Daphne out. In the original rated R one, she's lesbian as fuck, and she sees Daphne walk in, and she gets hard for her.
And you know who directed that movie?
So fucking funny.
You know who directed that movie?
Who?
James Gunn.
What other movies did he do?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I love that. And
Suicide Squad.
And you know what's so sad? I haven't watched the second one all the way through. The Scooby-Doo movies. I haven't seen them all the way through. But I've heard that the second one's actually better than the first one, low-key.
The second one is iconic. So, okay,
yeah,
here's my conspiracy theory.
Yes.
The second movie was supposed to be first. And the second movie should have been first.
Yes, I remember you bringing this up. It's because they never bring up the past in the second movie.
Because
they never
the
bring
first
up
movies
Spooky
are
Island.
The second movie is all about them like, oh, these are all of our past accomplishments. And look at all of these monsters we've unmasked. Literally, it's called The Monsters Unmasked. And they have to fight all of these monsters from their past. And then the first movie, they don't address any of that at all. They don't address their past adventures, nothing. So my theory is that the second movie's plot was supposed to be first, and it's supposed to be a prequel.
Interesting.
And then they do the whole Luna Ghost thing, and then they break up and go to Spooky Island.
Interesting.
I 100% will stand.
You should go on the internet and see if there's other people that like agree with that.
That is the hill I will die on.
There actually might be a really cool you might have a really cool theory going on.
I mean, it would make sense because they don't talk about the first movie at all. They don't address Scrappy. They don't address any of Spooky Island.
Huh.
Yeah. It's weird.
That's so interesting.
But I think that's why. I do genuinely think that was meant to be what happens.
I could see it maybe. I could see it.
But
oh my gosh, you know one movie that we should watch sometime? I want to show it to like you and Katie and everyone. Have you heard of another gay movie? Oh my god, we all need to watch another gay movie.
I remember watching the gay movies on Logo.
I watched
But I'm a Cheerleader.
But I'm a Cheerleader is good. I could only find another gay movie on porn websites. Yeah, you can find full-length another gay movie on fucking porn websites, which is so stupid because it's not even like a porn movie.
It was because it was...
It's essentially a gay American Pie, so it's got some dumbass rated R shit in there. But it is atrocious. It's very atrocious, like gay propaganda. It's like a gay exploitation movie.
There was a movie on Logo that I cannot remember the name of, but I remember it was such a thing, and I got so invested in it. But it was about this kid who's in like a high school production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then has the little flower from the play, and then like sprinkles it on people. It turns them gay.
I love that.
It turned them gay, and it was so good. And the whole moral of it is he's like, no, as much as I love this guy, I know he'll never be with me because he's straight. And then he just, I don't know. I never remember watching the end.
That's so iconic.
It aired at like 3 in the morning.
You know what? You know what gay movies are? They're good, but they're not like the best. And I honestly think they're just propagated. They're propagated.
That's the word of the day.
I constantly say propagated as if it is related to the word propaganda, but I don't think it is.
Propagating is when you take
potato
like a gardening
sprouts. Thing.
Yeah.
John Waters movies feel like they're only liked by gay boomers because
not really that.
I like a lot of the iconicness of some of the movies, but some of those movies are disgustingly offensive. And I don't even want to hear someone like John Waters be like, well, they're supposed to be. That's the point. Girl, some movies just don't need to exist in that facet. I didn't need the plot in Pink Flamingos of them literally like abducting women and getting them pregnant to sell their babies to lesbians.
Right.
That is funny as far as black comedy, like as far as dark comedies, right? It's funny. But Did we really need to see a shot of a vagina with a syringe, and not like a needle syringe, but like a food, like a baby
Like a
food
turkey
syringe,
baster?
or like a baby syringe for like medicines?
Yeah.
Did we really need to see a vagina up close with like a syringe, like with semen syringed into it to like insinuate that this is what you're doing to them?
Yucky.
Did we really need to see that? I don't think so. I personally
I
don't
didn't.
think that was
I
necessary.
definitely didn't see that part then.
Oh, I did. Yeah, no, it's probably, and I wouldn't, you probably don't see it maybe in like a newer version of Pink Flamingos, but if you look up probably like a pirated version of it, you will see a scene in there where that happens. And it's a lady they knock out. Like, it's literally a thing. Like, they knock her unconscious, and she's down in the basement where they keep all the ladies, and a dude jerks off over her and then puts it in a syringe, and then there's a close-up of her vagina, and they're like, boop. And it's like this thing, and Devin and I were like, wow, this is disgusting. And
Where do you find this shit?
the internet.
Uh,
And also, these are movies that a lot of gay people are like, this is amazing gay culture. And it's not actually.
You know what I
it's
love?
not. It's actually gay exploitation that makes us look really bad.
You know what is
John
good
Waters.
gay culture? Tu Wong Fu.
Oh, Tu Wong Fu is so good.
Such a good
Tu Wong
movie.
Fu is very, very good. Priscilla Queen of the Desert is fun too. Priscilla Queen of the Desert is fucking boring.
I didn't watch all of it.
But aesthetically, it's similar to Tu Wong Fu, and it's cute.
I
but
heard it's
Tu
like the
Wong
Australian
Fu-
version.
Yeah, but Tu Wong Fu is a treasure.
Tu Wong Fu was actually like it was kind of a fight to get that movie made because
That doesn't surprise me.
Patrick Swayze was in there like I'm going to do this movie. It was a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's iconic. I love it. I
'Cause-
love movies that.
Well,
and
because
this
the
is
studio was like, I don't even know if this is going to be a good selling movie.
no right.
And
Of course not.
Patrick Swayze was like, I don't care. We're going to do this
no,
movie.
yeah, it's fabulous.
And it's so
Well-
it's aged really, really well.
And it does that thing that I really like in a lot of John Waters movies where like and it is different because in a lot of John Waters movies the drag queens like Divine
They're meant to be
she
outrageously
plays a
gross.
woman. Well,
Right.
and she also plays a woman.
Right.
What I like about Tu Wong Fu is like yes they are drag queens, but when they go into the environment they go into, they play women, and I
Yeah.
think the suspension of disbelief around that is fun for acting. I think it's fun. I think it's good theater, and I think
the whole plot
and you know what a
twist is
lot
at
of
the
parts
end of it, they all know.
yes they all know, and
they
like
don't
I.
care.
And I love that movie, and there's
think
not even, and it's not really racy. It's a what's it rated?
PG, I think.
I'm like it's a movie that
PG-13?
honestly like a kid could watch. It's actually
I
not
remember
super.
watching it with my mom.
Yeah, and there's a part where he like defends a woman against domestic violence. Like it's actually a very, very, very good movie, and it's got a very sweet plot to it.
It's got a
actually.
good message to it.
It
It's
preaches like small towns being accepting. It preaches against domestic violence. It's a really, really cool
RuPaul.
movie.
I remember RuPaul being in the Confederate flag dress.
Oh my
and that
gosh,
was
yeah, because
so-
RuPaul's in it for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I forget that.
And I think her drag name in the movie was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was something involving the Confederacy. Something like that. I just can't remember. But that was back when RuPaul was pretty. That was back when RuPaul was pretty.
I mean, RuPaul's still pretty. I think so.
RuPaul is raven pretty now. RuPaul used to be pretty back in the 90s.
I still think she's pretty.
Like,
but,
in that
she's
gorgeous
also 62.
blonde
so like,
updo. Ugh, so gorgeous.
no, yeah, she is very gorgeous.
God.
How
Like,
long has this episode been, by the way?
Quite a bit. Movies. We're a
Movies.
full-length movie now.
This episode is the same length as probably a full-length film. Are we at the 90-minute mark?
Probably.
I would imagine so, maybe.
Oh,
cool.
work.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
work.
look at that. Episode 3. We just had so much to talk about today.
I'm so queerly disturbed now.
I know.
I'm so queerly disturbed by all the movies.
Oh, and next week we're going to... Or not next week. This next episode, we're going to do a Get Ready With Me.
Oh, yeah, I think we are we?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to fully do that. I might watch you get ready. Because I like getting ready at
You're going to
home.
be like, yeah, I like watching her get ready.
Maybe we can put you in makeup.
Oh, that would be fun.
Because I like getting ready at home. Like, I'm just going to say it right now while we're still recording. I like getting ready in my house.
This is true. I also do too.
And
which
she-
is why
yeah.
I like showing up to the gigs
But
fully ready.
since you have to get ready here that day because you was a working mama.
Because I have karaoke.
Yeah, and then we're going to do karaoke after. Yeah, plug in karaoke every Thursday at Albuquerque Social Club.
Here's the little
hosted by
poster.
Carly.
We're going to put you on the poster.
Yeah,
now.
DJ'd by me. And, like, yeah, it's so fun. Come sing karaoke with us.
We have fun.
Come tip the
We
dolls.
have fun because I say we have fun.
Yeah, we occasionally have. We
We
occasionally
occasionally have fun.
we occasionally have fun. We occasionally have drag queens perform on very special occasions.
We raise money.
But we raise money.
we
People
have
there
fun.
love singing.
We do competitions.
Oh, it's so fun. No, yeah, definitely come to karaoke every Thursday at Social Club.
She's the karaoke queen of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Come in and stop by at
you
your
are,
local
honestly.
Ford Honda today.
You are. I wish Honda would sponsor us.
They'll give us a free turkey if we go buy a car.
Well, there's our sponsor.
Yeah. With
Well,
that,
this has been Queerly Disturbed. I'm Jon'Moll.
I'm Carly Rico Quinn.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.